Hey guys, so this is a quick review of the Toro 60V Super Recycler that I purchased a few days ago. I got it about 2 days ago and I first used it today. And I just want to give a little review on my impressions of it, as I know that there aren't that many. So for people considering buying this mower, um, I think you'll be interested in what I have to say. So I'm just gonna basically say the pros and cons, and I'll start with the cons, and then go to the pros. Um, Things I like and things I don't really like. So first things, my biggest annoyance, the deck adjustments. I think I think this could be changed. Um, this should be changed. Basically, you have to adjust the deck by adjusting each wheel. The first thing is a little difficult when you're actually adjusting it, and then also there aren't any markings or writing or anything indicating what level you are at. So for me to adjust this to my desired height, I had to basically count 1, 2, 3 and remember that it's the third one. I had to go around to each wheel and do the same thing. I understand this is something that that all Toro lawnmowers come with, but I think you would find a lot more people annoyed by this than people that really like it. I um, the Eagles, the Cobalts, the Greenworks, the Snappers, they all just have one deck adjustment at the back, just a lever, and I think it might be time for Toro to adopt that. Um, the second thing I would say is that this mower is quite heavy. It weighs about 90 pounds. Which is significant, but that has to do a lot with the build quality. There is an aluminum deck here, cast aluminum, that is very tough. It's thick. You could tell once you buy this mower, it's gonna last you a very long time. What I'm concerned about was that with all this weight, if the self-propel might be using more battery than it should because of this extra weight, right? Uh, the other thing I would say while we are at the front here is the color. It's black. You know, anything that's black tends to look dirty quicker than other colors. Um, I have about a 8,000 square foot lot. I cut half, about 4,000 square foot is just the backyard, and well, you can see how dirty it appears already. Um, you know, so I guess this is a branding issue, but anything that's black, you know, you have to clean it regularly if you care about how clean your machinery looks. Um, we could go around to the back and let me get down to the discharge, the rear discharge. So please bear with me. The rear discharge has a mulching plug. The mulching plug, to get it out, you have to squeeze this thing and lift it up. Yeah, you have to basically use two hands to get it out. From what I understand, the previous recyclers, this is my first Toro mower, but the previous recyclers had a lever here that you could open and shut your discharge with, and that would be all you need. But with if it would be good if they could have just left that feature, because now if I want to collect, I have to put my mulching plugs aside. Things happen to these things. They could break. Someone could roll over it. A dog could take it and run away with it. etc. So it would be good if that could be put back there. On the topic of discharge, there is no side discharge on either side. Um, but Toro does send you if you ask, they do send you a discharge chute that attaches at the back here and basically will discharge from the side. I mean, most people don't do any side discharge much anymore because, you know, lawnmowers are much better than they were, but it would help if there was, if they could have just sent it, you know. This thing costs $800, you know, if you just sent it, so everyone has the option of side discharging. That would be good. All right. So, personal pace, right? Personal pace. What I would say about this is that it's amazing, right? It's really nice. You basically, once you start the motor, which just using this switch, you know, you start and once you engage this, the lawnmower just rolls automatically. So it literally feels like you're pushing a grocery cart because it just becomes weightless when you just do that. It becomes effortless. I think today was the least effort I've put into mowing grass ever, but we'll get to that soon. What I would say though is that sometimes I would like it to be off, right? Because by using this, there's a motor attached to the wheel that allows you to self-propel. That uses electricity also. So if for some reason, you know, I'm cutting grass and I want to extend the life of the battery a little bit, I should be able to turn it off, right? What I think an easy fix to that to be is if there's some stop I could put right here, right? That just stops this from going forward, so I could just engage, start the motor, and just be able to just push the lawnmower on my own to, you know, to cut the grass, right? The last thing I would say that I don't really like is the battery and the charger. You get a 7.5 amp hour battery, right? This thing costs $800. The charger is 2 amp hours. So basically you give 2 amps per hour, which means that this thing will take 3.5 hours to fully charge a fully dead battery. I think at an $800 price point, you know, they could at least send a rapid charger because this thing runs for 50 minutes, right? If my cutting requires more than 50 minutes, it would mean that I'll have to stop, and to get, I mean, less than a third of the battery, I'll have to wait a whole hour before I could start back. The problem is a 2.5 amp hour battery is $150. A 7.5 amp hour battery on Toro is $350. So I think, and there's also a rapid charger on sale now that costs about $110. I think at this price point they could send us a rapid charger. This is not the first electric lawnmower I had. I basically had a Greenworks for about 6 weeks. This whole mowing lawn, etc. is I just started it like a few months ago. Bought a house, had someone doing my yard. Didn't really like what they were doing, the quality of the job they were doing. So I said I'll just do it for myself, right? And well, I decided, I looked at some reviews. I don't like the idea of plastic, so I didn't go with the Ego at all. And then the Greenworks was around a similar price point or slightly cheaper. It had a steel deck, You know, it came with 2 batteries. It had fairly good reviews, but the 60 volt that I bought, it just was too weak to cut the grass. I mean, it could take off maybe 1 or 1.5, but if you try to take off more than 2 inches, the motor, while mulching, the motor would just cut off, which, which was just super annoying. So I returned it, did some more reviews, and that's how I came across this Toro. Um, I would say the last thing I would say about cons, it costs $800. I think that, the build quality is definitely there, but I think that to attract more customers, if they decrease this to $700, in an attempt to like undercut the Ego, which is clearly one of the more popular mowers, it will definitely, help with sales. I made this video because there aren't that many reviews about this mower. So for people who are on the fence trying to make a decision, I just decided to make this for their sake. Another thing I would say, to adjust the height of the bar, it's some screws. You have to unscrew these things and make some adjustments. I mean, couldn't we just have a little lever there? This is how you this is how you basically unhook the bar so you could fold it forward for storage. There are some mowers with some easier mechanisms, but I don't think that's too much of an issue. But anyways, now for the good part. The good parts, because I'm sure, I was like, wow, this guy's been talking for 12 minutes about this mower and he hasn't said anything too positive about it. But let me tell you, despite all my complaints, I'm not going to return this. Why? The build quality. You ever sat in an expensive car and you understand why it's expensive? This is the feeling you get from this. The bars, everything is just so well made. It's solid. The aluminum steel deck, very, very sturdy. The wheels, they're big, they're grippy, and the cutting experience. Wow, as I say, when you engage this personal pace, it just feels like you're pushing a grocery cart. It's so smooth, and it effortlessly just cuts the grass the first few seconds, and it mulches so well. The first 10 to 15 seconds I was cutting, I had to stop and look back because it didn't feel like I was cutting anything. But lo and behold, just behind me was a nice trail of perfectly cleanly cut grass, right? So the build quality, the cutting experience makes it all worth it. But I would say, with some slight improvements, a little decrease in the cost, I think this mower definitely has what it takes to be the electric mower that everyone will go for. So that is my review on it. As I said, if the first thing I would say, get rid of this wheel leveling mechanism. I don't think it's really needed anymore. Most lawnmowers just one level, one lever that adjusts your level, and then that's it. And I think that's the way Toro should go. But we'll just have to see. I think the next iteration of this will definitely be the one to get. Okay, guys, so that was my review of this Toro Super Recycler. If you have any questions, put them down in the comments. Give me a like so that more people could have access to this video. so that they can make a decision as to whether they think this is the mower for them or not. Thank you.